大家好，我叫阿德，欢迎到我的华语角。Hi everyone, I'm Ada and welcome to my Chinese Quarter, where I help you improve your Chinese. Today, we are going to talk about something that is essential to mastering Mandarin Chinese, and that is the measure words. But before we begin, I'd like to thank everyone who's watching this video and who has watched my other videos and all the people who have subscribed to my channel. And you can always hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And why do I say that measure words are essential to mastering Chinese? You cannot speak Chinese without knowing when and how to use the measure words. Now, what are measure words? Measure words are sometimes also referred to as quantifiers. They come between a number and a noun. You might know that in English we also have these measure words like a loaf of bread or a cup of tea. Then cup is the measure word. Or a head of lettuce. And it is usually used to make something that is uncountable, so something that you cannot count, like water or tea, things like that, to make it that so you can count it. Like, I would like 2 cups of coffee, please, and other examples like that. So in English, we wouldn't use those measure words for, let's say, a book. You just say 1 book. Well, in Chinese, you cannot do this. You have to put a word, what we call a measure word, in between that number and the noun. It would be like if we said in English, 1 volume of book, 2 volumes of books, etc. In Mandarin Chinese, you always have to use this measure word in front of a noun. If you've watched any of my other videos, I sometimes mention that Chinese likes to group words together. And each of these groups has its own quantifier, its own measure word. And I would like to repeat that every noun has its own measure word. So what does that look like in Chinese? Well, in this video, I will give you some examples of the most commonly used measure words in Chinese. It's not going to be a complete list of all the measure words because that will be a very, very long video, but I've just picked out a few of the most common ones that you can encounter. Let's get right into it. The most common measure word you would hear is ge. Now, ge as a measure word is toneless. Some textbooks or some websites also say that ge is a 4th tone, ge, which is also correct. But in the vernacular, in the spoken language, ge is usually toneless. Most people pronounce it toneless. Now, to which group does ge belong? When I lived in China, I heard a lot of people use ge for almost all nouns. And if you've listened to what I said at the beginning of the video, every noun belongs to a group and that group has a measure word. So it is grammatically wrong to use ge for every noun. That is the easy way out. Because you have to remember, oh, what noun am I talking about? Which group does it belong to? Which measure word is it? You need to memorize that. Of course, it's easier to use ge for everything, but it's wrong. Now, I'm going to teach you the correct grammar. If afterwards you want to use ge for all the nouns, that's up to you. I'm just teaching you the way it's supposed to be. Ge is mostly used for people. So, 一个人 三个人 or things 一个东西 so 个 is used for people and things you cannot really put into a group. For people, there is another measure word, and that is used when you have to be or when you want to be polite. That measure word is 位. So you could say 这位老师 this teacher. Let me show you some more measure words. 条 second tone is used for elongated for long objects like a road. 这条路 this road. Or it's used for snakes. 三条蛇 three snakes. It's used for dragon 龙 as well, and 鱼 fish. So it is used for things that are a bit longer, stretched out long. In my intro, I mentioned books. So the measure word for books is 本. So you say 三本书 three books. Another measure word you would often hear is 块, and 块 is a piece or a slice of something. Like you could say 一块蛋糕, a piece of cake or a slice of cake. When you talk about bread, it becomes different. The slice is 片. So 一片面包 or 一片吐司. So that's when it's a bit flatter, but still a slice of something. When people are chopping meat, you say 一块肉, like a piece of meat. If you want to talk about movies, you use the word 部, as in 这部电影很好看. So this movie is very good. So 很好看, you say good to see, but it just in English you would say this movie is very good. For items of clothing, you use the measure word 件 for tone. Like 一件衣服 means a piece of clothing. Even for pants or trousers, you use the word 件, which is different from English. In English, you would say a pair of jeans. But in Chinese, you say 一件牛仔裤, one piece of jeans. 件 is also used for luggage. 一件行李, so one piece of luggage. There is a word for pair in Chinese, 双, and you use it for shoes. 一双鞋子 or 筷子 chopsticks, 两双筷子 two pairs of chopsticks. Or socks, 一双袜子. But a pair of glasses, you cannot use 双, you have to use 副. So 一副眼镜. And the best way to remember when to use 副 and when to use 双 is to remember that 双 is used for things that belong together in a pair, like shoes or socks or chopsticks, and that is when you 双, so things that are not attached to each other, and glasses are attached to each other. So, and just memorize it. Just memorize that 副 goes with 眼镜 and 双 with 鞋子 and the other words. A lot of learning Chinese is just memorization. Sometimes there is no logic to things. You have to use this grammar in this situation. Another measure word you often hear is 张. 张, first tone, is used for flat objects like paper. 一张纸, 一张纸, 一张床, a bed. For pens and pencils, we use 支, 一支笔. So 支 is used for long, thin things, but not as long as a road or a snake or something like that. So a little bit shorter, like a pen or a pencil. And the last one for this video is also 支, same pronunciation, different character, and that is the measure word we use for animals. Example, 三只狗, three dogs, 五只猫, five cats. Then, how would you ask how many? You might have heard the word 多少. 多少钱? How much? How much money? How much does it cost? But when you really want to ask how many, like how many pencils, or how many cats, or how many trees, or how many books, you have to use the word 几个 how many 几个人 how many 房子里有几个人 how many people are in the house 你要几本书 how many books do you want 他买了几支笔 how many pens has he bought 你有几双鞋子 how many shoes do you have or how many pairs of shoes do you have I have to say sometimes you don't even have to say the noun if somebody says 我要买书 I want to buy books you can just say 几本 how many but you have to use the measure word 我要买蛇 I want to buy snakes 几条 how many snakes do you want 我们家有猫 we have cats at home 几只 how many cats do you have now that you know what measure words are and how to use them in Chinese, how to make a sentence with them, even ask questions with a measure word, it's time for you to go practice. There are more measure words than the ones I mentioned in this video. Go out, have fun practicing your Chinese. You can always leave a comment with your sentences and ask questions about any topic, so topic in this video or anything else, and I will always answer and try to help you with your Chinese because that's what I'm here for. So give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. For now, go out, have fun, and 继续加油!